Welcome to Stock Markets with KR, back with the weekly episode with Anush. Anush, how's it going?
All good, buddy. How's it going with you?
All good, all good, all good. Enjoying the Mumbai weather.
Absolutely. What a pleasure it is to be here right now.
Yes, yes, I swear, I swear. So I hope the listeners and I hope the video watchers are doing great. By the way, this particular episode is going to be there on the podcast as well. So if you're listening on the podcast, you can also check out the video version of it on my YouTube channel. Same name, Stock Markets with KR, and you'll be able to see stuff. You won't be, just listening to it. So it'll be
I
good.
think
But
I
anyway,
think that's very important that listeners also come to the YouTube channel so they get to actually see the charts that we're looking at. So that's pretty much what technical analysis is, data visualization. So yeah, that would be great. Uh, KR has like an amazing YouTube channel. All the content is just so crisp and detailed at the same time. So do give it a watch, guys. If you're listening on the podcast.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. And yeah, by the way, we'll do our best to help you visualize it just using, words. But, again, best is to watch it. But anyway, let's jump right into it, shall we?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's do that. So, guys, here we again have the Nifty weekly chart. Like we can see, these fib extensions have played like magic. The top was formed exactly near the 1.618 at 15,470. That was on the 16th of February this year. And a recent breakout above that is sustaining. It is advancing well. A weekly chart on the Nifty looks super bullish. I cannot even emphasize how bullish this feels. Nifty 50 daily. This is the daily chart of the same. We see the standard deviations plotted as +1, +2, and -1, -2. This is a regression channel. Again, it served very well as both support and as resistance at various points on both the deviations, +1 and +2, and -1, -2. This breakout above the Feb high, I think that was very important. So far, Nifty sustaining about above it, not very great momentum, but nonetheless, when we see the broad market, we'll realize just how strong stocks are at this time, and there's really no cause to be bearish, except for this one cautionary chart that came across a while ago. This is the Nifty monthly, and plotted below is the rate of change indicator with a 14 period setting. Every time this indicator has entered this 70 to 100 zone, it has subsequently seen quite a correction, either in terms of price, like these cases, or in terms of time here, or specifically here, where it rallied a little more and then entered into this painful, long, almost, I don't know, 3-4 year long time correction phase. So this is definitely something that KR and I are going to be watching very closely for now. Again, it's not an absolutely bearish signal. It's not a call for a top either, but it's something that we want to be aware of and see how things develop here on out. Coming to Bank Nifty, we mentioned last week that banks looked like they were losing momentum, and that's pretty much what happened. Of course, Bank Nifty can be quite unpredictable and make some wild moves, but even now, it does not look like this level is going to sustain. And I kind of have an intuition of a retest of this 34,000 breakout level happening. That being said, we wouldn't advise anyone to trade in that direction or anything like this. None of this is advice. This is just a view that this breakout can get retested. That's what the chart seems to be hinting at. More so when we look at the relative strength chart of the Bank Nifty. This is basically a ratio of Bank Nifty to Nifty. We can see it's clearly forming this head and shoulders pattern with a little while to go to complete this pattern. So, I mean, in this kind of situation, overly bullish on banks is not the most high risk reward option, I'd say. So, we are going to be cautious on banks, but again, Nifty looks pretty bullish. The broad market, coming to this, these are some of my favorite charts because they're just so absolutely clean and the uptrends are almost unblemished. Mid caps have had a stellar run. Small caps had an even better run, as we'll see shortly. Small caps have, by the way, broken out of their 2018 highs. So that's really something because people were calling a top at every stage of this rally, and it has just refused to crash. Even at the all time high, it is refusing to take resistance and just plowing higher. Whether this is sustainable, not extended, overextended, I mean, I don't think that's for us to comment. We are following the trend. We are not trying to create the trend or counter the trend. And lastly, same goes for the Nifty 500, which has also had a pretty stellar run and ended its sideways correction to resolve higher. This is the same on the relative strength basis, that is the ratios with Nifty. We can see that all of them have massively outperformed after their breakouts. We've been calling for this almost since year KR, wouldn't you think? Like late
Yes.
2020 is when we started tracking these charts, and since then it's just been such a wonderful journey up that I mean it's hard to ever call a bearish on this one in this kind of scenario.
Right.
While the broad market is outperforming the Nifty. This is a simple snapshot of the broad market indices, how they've done year to date. Of course, small caps have outperformed at 36.8%, mid caps follow at 30%, and Bank Nifty is lagging at 11.86%. Sorry. From the March 20 lows, it's a similar picture with small caps doing 190% almost, mid caps doing 150, and Bank Nifty lagging at 107. Almost the same with Nifty now. This is a chart of the India VIX, which we know is our volatility measure. Uh, we were tracking it all this while at the between the 0 and 1 standard deviation levels, and now we have finally seen it kiss the -1 standard deviation level on a long-term basis and rise again. Again, these are regression channels with the -1 and 1, 2, 3 plotted on it. Now I'll hand it over to KR to talk about some index heavyweights.
Great, thanks, Anush. So first, before I jump into Reliance, I'll just summarize what you just said, because I think that the listeners would like it, those who are listening to the podcast instead of actually looking at the chart. So basically, would it be right to say that in your view, Nifty is in a raging bull trend, Bank Nifty not exactly similar in terms of momentums, and small caps have just done insanely well. The VIX, on the VIX side, on the volatility side, we are testing the lower limits of the standard deviation. Basically, we are at the bottom if we look at the chart. So would that be a right snapshot?
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered it in that. And yeah, except for the fact that, I mean, VIX, it's calling it a bottom, I'm not very comfortable because I don't know really. It has a ways to go, and it can even lie here for a while. It has rarely ever broken below this, that we see this short time in 2017, maybe 2018 once, but it doesn't really break below that. So bottom maybe, but seeing it rising from here immediately, probably not. It can lie here for a while as well in this -1 to 0 SD range.
Right. And I believe before COVID actually hit, we were seeing single digit VIX, numbers as well. So that is also likely. We can't rule that out. So, bottom is in, it's like the bottom of the one -1 SD line. So anyway, with that wrapped up, we'll move to Reliance then.
Perfect.
Great. So Reliance here, using the same chart that we have been using since the past, I don't know how many weeks, but here we can see basically Reliance has reclaimed 2200, which is a great sign. It's above that 0.786 fib trend extension, which is a good sign, but it is still facing resistance at higher levels. We've talked about Reliance a lot, and we've basically said that 2220, 2230 is where Reliance starts to sort of face some amount of hesitation. So I think unless it's able to really show momentum, above those levels, at those levels, it might not really sustain here. Let's see what happens. And by the way, Reliance declared a 7 rupee dividend. So, that's something, if you have Reliance, if you're holding Reliance, then expect that credit, and you can do a little party. Moving to the other stock, which is HDFC Bank. And HDFC Bank, it's still stuck in the same area. So below 1530, above 1480, still stuck in the very same range or bracket that we've spoken about all this while. So nothing really new happening here. And, we're still seeing it sandwiched. So more bearishness, I think, below 1460 or something. Bullishness, possibly, strong bullishness above 1530. And that is where HDFC Bank is at. Moving on, Anush, we'll move to the next chart. By the way, for the viewers, there's a little lag because Zoom is not really complying with us today. So there's a little lag, which is why you might notice that there's a little bit of, problem. But anyway, here we have Infosys. Infosys, we spoke about that spinning top. So basically, when Infosys breaks above the spinning top, it tends to outperform. Breaking below, it tends to underperform. Basically, bullish, bearish, and that is what we're seeing here. It has managed to break above that spinning top high after some test of the low, and now we're seeing it up around 2.5% from that level. So I think it looks fairly decent at this level, but that is not to say that all is clear. Resistances might still just come and weakness might still just come. Let's see what happens. It is approaching that all-time high level very, very, very soon. So moving to the next stock, we have HDFC. Is it? Yes, we have HDFC. It's at 2560 almost effectively, which is bang on, spot on at the resistance level. If you recall, 2620, 2580 is the level we have mentioned as the resistance, and 2560 just happens to be very close to it. So I think until and unless, and I've been saying this since the past 2 weeks, I think, until and unless that two double thick line between 2620, 2600, and even 2580 to an extent is breached, HDFC might just remain sideways. The thing with HDFC is that it can just move that much in one day. All it requires is one sharp move and it'll just clear it, and we'll all be left wondering that arey kya ho gaya, what is happening with HDFC? And that's the tendency it basically has. So no point in looking at that as a very hard resistance. Moving on to the next stock, we've got ICICI Bank. And ICICI Bank, if it just loads on my screen, thanks Zoom for taking so long. ICICI Bank, we can see it appears to be holding that 633 level fairly well. We've spoken about this level earlier also. 633 holding fairly well so far. So I think as long as it's able to hold above this level, it should be okay. If not, 620, possibly even 600 retest can't really be ruled out. Again, this all goes with how Bank Nifty has been behaving. Bank Nifty's momentum and how these banks are performing very inline, if you can sort of understand that. So right now we can see there's around a 30-point range where we can see ICICI Bank is or might move in 630 and 665. That's breach. Obviously we have the other levels marked. So moving on, we have got Kotak Bank, and Kotak Bank, we can see it hasn't really done much actually. Kotak Bank is still above that cluster of horizontal lines, as you can see, but it is below that 38.2% fib level, 1814. So if you guys recall, in the previous episodes, we've spoken about how Kotak Bank can really show strength above 1820. 1820, not even nearly there yet. It's still under 1800. So there's a little bit of lack of momentum for Kotak Bank. So unless and until that happens, unless we're able to see some strength, above this level, I doubt that it might be able to have, that strong of a move. But the thing with Kotak Bank and banks in general is that, at one moment they can show us signs of very, sleepiness almost, I'll call it. But the next moment they'll bounce up very sharply. So they are very unpredictable in that way. Even when we talk about Bank Nifty, it has, right now it is showing a little dip in momentum. But the thing is, the second we feel that, okay, it's not really moving that fast, it can just change directions. As Anush said, it is very choppy, it's very volatile, it's very unpredictable. So saying that it does not have momentum at all is not really the right thing. It's just that as of now, it is showing us some lazy moves. So moving to the next stock, which is one more bank, SBIN. And SBI, if we see, it's actually pretty decent. It has one of the narrowest retracements of the banks that we've seen so far, which means that the bullish trend is possibly stronger in the case of SBI. And 420 has been held fairly well. And we can see even Friday's candle showing us great buying at lower levels. So I think that's a good sign. RSI has just come down to around 60 levels, which is also a good sign. If 420 is breached, I think 405, that sort of gap which is there, that might be the next level. So that's about it for the top stocks of Nifty and Bank Nifty. Anush, how about you brief us about some trades now?
Sorry, it took a second to unmute, Krunal.
No problem.
Yeah, I think first we should show our viewers our existing trades which we're in. Bail has been activated. We see good RR, and we are looking to add more here. iPro is strong, about I think 6% in the money, and we are looking at it as a hold. Grasim is open, and we're looking to add on a retest of 1450.55. That breakout retest looks like it's going to complete. An interesting stock to watch if it maintains that 60 level. That it is in fact about 60, and looks like an interesting add on dips to us. Of course, again, not advice. Hero as a long has not activated yet, as it could not close above that menacing EV WAP from the recent high. And Kotak, like we just saw, we're looking to close this out because of our overall view on banks at this moment. But nonetheless, definitely a stock to keep on radar because of how it's been a kind of laggard. And above this 1815 retracement, it can definitely be an interesting pick. So that is all for the summary of trades so far. And talking about a new trade idea, we have none other than Eicher Motors, which we're seeing as a long at its current market price of around 2746, 2750. We're looking at targets of 2900 and 3000 with a stop below 2670, which is somewhere below this purple belt. That would be about 3% from CMP. That's a bearable loss. That's an excellent reward to risk trade. And that's what we are currently looking at. So I think that's it from me. KR, would you like to say some concluding words?
Yeah, I think we've covered it pretty well. I think so far there were no new questions because I think I forgot to share the Google form, but that's fine. I'll share the Google form in the link in the description. So if you have any further questions, at any time you can just fill in that Google form, and we'll make sure to cover your question in the next episode. So do that, and that'll be good. And apart from that, I think that's pretty much it. It's been a very interesting, I think, week because we've seen some pretty choppy moves after fairly euphoric past couple of weeks. So it's been interesting. And I think this just shows that there are new opportunities presenting themselves with the markets, which it corrected a little. My throat's SL is starting to hit, and that's fine, I think. But yeah, I think all is good. Anush, what about you? Any closing remarks?
Yeah, I'd say the market is. People are saying that the market is very irrational and that this kind of teasy, as they call it, is not really warranted or whatever. But I think there's no point really countering it. Rather, just enjoy the trend, ride the trend. But also, like I said, it might be time to start getting a little cautious, looking at how overextended everything is. Like all the indices have these vertical extensions. That is not to say they cannot extend more, but at some point there is going to be a slight bend in that trend. So whether to stick with the trend or whether to jump out early, that's of course each investor's call. But overall, I am not. None of us are. Neither of us are turning bearish just yet. And yeah, things look to be looking up as of now.
Exactly. I think calling tops and bottoms is stuff that weird people do. Let's just keep it at that. So yeah, don't get into all that stuff. Listen, if you're new to this, then please don't try to pick tops and bottoms. The market has a very unforgiving way of teaching lessons. So make sure that you are just calm, composed, and going with the market instead of trying to get the market to come with you. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Hopefully it's been a concise
Exactly.
and crisp
Well,
session. So with that, I think we can say bye bye. Happy trading to our viewers and listeners.
yep. Bye, guys. Happy trading.
Bye. Happy trading. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.